All right, welcome back to Pacific Push, Taste Radio, Dash Radio. It's your host, G Money. You know what it is, Hawaii's #1 hip hop show. And today we are with the Diddy Trap Queen from the A, Callie Cass. What's up?
What's good? What's down with you, Mr. Hawaii? How's it over there?
How's it? It's good. The weather's good. Everything's great. Hoping to make it back down to that side of town soon, but I'm blessed and I'm happy. How about you?
Well, it's totally opposite. I just came back from New York and Atlanta is gloomy as hell right now. Like it's raining bad. But I think it's supposed to be like that for this whole week. So hopefully it shines back up. But besides that, hey, the rain don't stop nothing. We still moving.
Not at all. You shining. You have a nice picture, a mural in the background. So I'm looking forward. Let's have some fun.
Let's get it.
All right. So, I started off, I told the listeners that you're the Diddy Trap Queen. And I feel we should start with that because you coined that phrase. That's your brand of hip hop. That's your brand of rap. So let's talk about the Diddy Trap.
Yeah. Well, Diddy Trap really just, I thought of the name because I was trying to find a way to classify my music because it was, I felt like it was a good mix. I grew up in Atlanta. That's mostly all trap music. So I grew up listening to every trap song you could possibly think of. But I was raised in a place called Fayetteville. It's like the south side of Atlanta. And, it's kind of like a suburban community, but I was still like that trap girl in a super ass suburban community. So I just started thinking, I'm like, the way that I develop my raps and the way that I'm on a track, I know it doesn't typically sound like the traditional trap music. So I thought, what helps brand what I'm trying to do better? And then I literally thought of Diddy Trap. Like, I'm kind of a Diddy girl, but in a good way. I ain't like extra. I work hard for everything I got. But I would say I'm a bit Diddy and I mixed it with trap. So, hey, that's how we got Diddy Trap, literally, just like that.
That's dope. Now, growing up in the A, I know you were a huge fan of a certain group from Atlanta, and they really influenced you. Looking at your interviews, you keep it very consistent. So, how important were the Ying twins with you when you were coming up listening to rap music, trap, crunk?
Yeah, man, they were important. So, like me growing up as a child, I always had like a lot of energy. Just, I don't know why, almost like ADD a little bit. I was just lit. So like the type of music I listened to, of course, was trap, but I also listened to party music. I'm very much I like good vibes. I like good energy. So any party that you went to in Atlanta, especially like when I was in high school, that's all we heard was Ying twins, Lil Jon, like all them people who pretty much stamped Atlanta for a very big part of what a lot of people are doing. MIGOS came through, they still here, and all these different people definitely influence, the way that I make music, because there was just people that I really enjoy listening to growing up, and I like the feeling that their music gave me, and I'm like, I want to reciprocate that same feeling, but in my own way. And like I said, they're Atlanta originals, Fabo, all them, like, they're dope. I love them.
All right, now that's dope, and you sampled one of their records early on, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. I sampled Salt Shaker.
Okay, yeah. I saw that. You show love, and that's great because you hear a lot of artists. They're always going to give love to like the Outkast, the T.I.s, everyone else, MIGOS. So when you hear the Ying twins, you're giving them their flowers because they were very important when it came to that crunk era.
Very. Lil Jon, Fabo, like D4L, all them, like they created the sauce in Atlanta. And that's why their music still lives today. Like you can still hear that song and you want to dance. Like you're not want to dance,
Now, let's talk about what's shaking right now, which is you. And you have a big single, Large Amount. You're going off. I'm watching videos. You're back in the clubs and it's going crazy when you're walking through doing your thing. So now that everything's opening, have you had the opportunity to perform that? And so far, what's been the most memorable experience performing some of your latest work?
So what's so interesting about that question, I reside in Atlanta. So as far as when the pandemic happened, while the rest of the world was shut down, Atlanta never shut down, like ever. So we maybe had 2 weeks that the clubs didn't run, but besides in 2 weeks, I mean, everything was still wide open. So like, even in the pandemic, I released a record too. And I mean, I was still moving around as if it was normal. Now, when I left outside of Atlanta, that's when things were different. Cause of course, like New York, the clubs wasn't open. LA, they were really strict. So Atlanta's really the only place you could move around during the pandemic. So that was a good thing because I lived here. And probably I'm trying to think, one of my most memorable moments, actually, in Atlanta, we just had a Juneteenth festival, right? And I think that's super dope. Love the event. I'm happy that we're finally making Juneteenth a tradition and a cultural thing for us to celebrate. So I got a chance to be on the stage for the Juneteenth show in Atlanta, and it had actually Fabo on there too, and I was just talking about him. It was me, Fabo, I think Diamond. It was a couple other people, but I got to perform a whole set, and of course my last closing song I did Large Amounts. So it was a really, really good experience. It was a lot of people out there. It's at Piedmont Park. I had a really nice outfit on. I love the crowd vibe, and that was probably one of my most memorable performances since COVID. Definitely was at the Juneteenth festival.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Atlanta is like one of the cities that just never shut down, and everyone was jealous. You see people going to Atlanta, Houston, back and forth, made it hot,
right.
you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Now back to your process, because I've listened to more than a handful of your songs, and we watch you progress. You know, speaking of your songs, right? So our programmer, Reggie, he really loves that song, Boss Ass Bitch. That's one of his running songs. You know what I'm saying? He's over here listening to Boss Ass Bitch. But from Handle It, you know, from Handle It to Boss Ass Bitch now to Large Amounts, it really seems that you found your pocket and you're spending more time focusing on the lyrics and the melody as opposed to like just the melody, but the lyrics are a lot harder. So what's your writing process like?
Honestly, so typically the way it works, I get a lot of my beats already sent to me, or I go to 2 main producers that I use in Atlanta, and I already have an idea of what I want to write about, and where my ideas come from is either everything comes from personal experience. So it's either something that just happened, maybe a feeling that I felt, and I don't know how to express it. Then there's sometimes I just really want to talk shit, and I just pick a beat that I really want to go in on and just talk crazy pretty much. So I kind of already have a pre-idea. And then I personally, as an artist, I love to write at home. And one of the main reasons why I do that too is that's where I'm most comfortable at, is my house. So I have actually a studio room in my crib, and I just sit and I go through beats and I write and I think about different topics I want to talk about. And by the time I go to the studio, I'm ready to record. So, you know, it's definitely, you know, it's been a couple of times I've been in the studio and the producer might come in, chop some beats, and I might be like, yo, I like this, and I'll go in there and do it right then and there. But most of the time, a lot of my stuff is pre-planned. I take time with my lyrics. I like to make, if I can, I like to make everything a bar. I like to make everything talk about something, and not every other line. I try to make it every line if I can. So I take a lot of time actually on my lyrics at home. And then sometimes it'd be crazy. It'd be the times I'm at the studio where I'll really like a beat and I just hop in on the track, and then that'd be the song that everybody loves. It's the one I just randomly put together. So it's crazy. It just depends. But yeah, my writing process is mostly at the crib. And that's how I kind of put everything and make everything make sense and make a point, not just a lyric, but actually make a point with everything that I say.
Man, you're giving me some great answers. I'm enjoying this interview.
Hey, I hope so. I'm enjoying it too. I'm enjoying it too.
Now, back to the production. So I did want to mention one. You're talking about the producers that you work with. Were you referring to Drummer J? Is it Drummer J?
Yes, that is the top producer that I work with out here in Atlanta. Yep.
Okay,
that's so my boy. Shout out to Drummer J.
So how did you develop that relationship, and what are your chemistry like in the studio?
So it was so crazy about that. I met Drummer J through an artist by the name of GOTIT. So Euro God is an artist out here in Atlanta. He signed to A&E too. And I can't even think how I met him. I think it was over Instagram, and we just wanted to do work together. And he was actually, Drummer Jay was his engineer. So when we went to the studio, when me and Euro did a track together, Drummer Jay was an engineer for our session. And I was like, oh, I'm like, he's cool, like he's dope. And ever since then, you know, he liked what I did on the track too. And he was like, yo, like, if you ever have free time, let's work. Like, I'll be cooking up too. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. And ever since then, that was maybe a year or two ago, something like that. Ever since then, we've been cool. So, and our chemistry in the studio is dope. Like, one thing about him, and I think it's very key for any artist, your engineer has to understand who you are as a person. So he knows the style of rap I like to do. He knows how my voice is. He knows how the things that I like and the things I don't. And it's also about a balance too. Like, I might throw out something and he might say like, yo, Callie, like, I like that, but I think it might be cooler if you say it like this. And I feel like teamwork is the best way you can ever work in the studio, because I could think one thing, but the next person might not think, you know, that they might not think that's cool or whatever. So it's cool to have somebody who's not closed mouthed, who will also help with your project and not just there to push buttons, but also your team member. So he definitely has that. And we're like a family. So it works really well.
Well, speaking of team, I find it interesting the way that your team, Special ENT, they rolls out your music. It looks like they take a lot of time with you, with the songs. You get a song, you get a really great visual, and now you're gaining more steam. So when can the fans expect the release of a full-length project, the full body of work from you?
Oh yeah, so you're talking about an album, right?
EP, album, mixtape, 3 songs, Lucy, SoundCloud.
Okay, yes. So I'm actually working on that right now. So what a lot of people don't know, and this is why I plan to have the listening session soon, so people can just see all the work that I do. But I'm literally like 3 album ready right now. With some of them have different sounds, some of them is an exact pocket that you guys hear, of course, right now. But I'm always working on my project. And right now, what my first project is going to be is definitely Diddy Trap. And I already have pretty much the project together. But what I'm really trying to do is I drop large amounts. And hopefully, after large amounts, after I do the video and everything, which is dropping in a week, I do feel like my next step will be a project. So stay tuned. Hopefully it is special.
Okay. So is the name of the project going to be Diddy Trap?
Yes, the name of the project is going to be Diddy Trap. Yep.
All right, we're looking out for that. We're going to look out for that. So I don't want to take too much of your time, but I do want to ask 2 more questions. Now that things are opening up, even though Atlanta's been open, but you know, the rest of the country and the world, you're an artist. Any big shows, tours, festivals where we can catch you on the stage, see you doing your thing?
Yes, actually, there are 2 big festivals that are about to happen in Florida. I want to say Tampa, and they have me on the lineup, and a really dope lineup is some of all you guys' favorite artists that range from like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, MIGOS, all them. They're going to be on it too. And then they're actually in progress right now of working for all girls tours. So I'm going to be on that. All the lit hip hop artists that's really out here doing their thing. They're trying to create a girls tour, and I did get an invitation to be on it. So hopefully when those dates get planned out more, I can have a better consensus or dates to give you. But yeah, very soon.
Well, I'm excited. We're excited here at Pacific Push and at Taste Radio. You know, we support you. You bring a lot of great energy. I've enjoyed this interview. But before we get out of here, this is the last question I'm going to ask, right? Last one, 3-part. So for someone visiting Atlanta, and if they have a large amount to blow, where should they go for food, for fashion, and have a good time, fun? Large amounts. You
good question.
Ooh, you like
Okay,
that.
let me see. Oh, you got large amounts. Okay, so for food, all right. Personally, my pick would be this place called Lobster Bar. It is a bit expensive, but A, you got large amounts. So Lobster Bar would be the place to go if you like seafood. I think they do have steaks and stuff too, but I always go there and get the seafood, of course. So that would be my place to say go eat. And I'm kind of basic too. Like I love Benihana. I know it ain't that much, but I love me a good hibachi. I like fried rice and chicken and shrimp and all that good stuff. So I would say that too. For fashion, that's a good one because me personally, I like to shop at boutiques. I shop at smaller stores because I feel that not a lot of people have the same merch that I buy. But if you're looking to go more larger scale, of course, Lenox Mall is one of the most popular spots that we have out here in Atlanta. The crime rate's kind of been through the roof right now there, but you know what I'm saying? Go on a good day, you can get some really nice Louis, Gucci. It's a one-stop shop. And of course you got large amounts, so they got all the stores that cater to you. So what we did, food, fashion, and what was the last one?
Fun.
Fun. Oh, okay, fun. So I'm a bit of a daredevil. I like to do crazy things. So if I had to recommend anything for fun out here in Atlanta, I actually want to say two things. One is this place called iFly. And basically how Superman flies, you can do that at this place. So they push you up with like a certain amount of air and you're like flying in the air, really cool experience, but don't do it if you're scared of heights. And then second, one of the most traditional things you could ever do in Atlanta is go skating at Cascade Skating Ring, okay? Shout out to ATL, T.I. didn't put it out there. You do not have to have large amounts to go, though. It's like $7 a person. So that's also something that's super fun, Atlanta tradition. I think everybody should experience at least one time.
Wow, yo, the Sadiddy Trap Queen came through in the clutch. Like you killed the answers, and I hope the listeners appreciated that. So before we get out here, let the people know how they can get in contact with you, the socials, the songs, the team, and you know we're going to continue to support.
Yes, of course. So, of course, you can follow me on Instagram at Cali Cass Official, and just remember the Cali is with a K, mother. Okay, and the C is with it. I mean, the Cass is with a C. But yeah, Cali Cass Official. And then I got that should be the same for across all my social media, except for Twitter is Cali Cass ENT. And for all of my music, I mean, I'm everywhere. I'm on Apple Music, Spotify, what's that? SoundCloud, all of that. I'm pretty much over. I'm on Pandora. All you have to do is type in my name, Cali Cass. It should pop up, and I have all my songs that I have released on there. Be expecting the large amount video in the next week. It's going to be dope. And if you want to ever get in contact with me or my team, please feel free to DM me or message me personally. Like, I love my fans. I love people. I'm definitely a people person, so I'm not mean. Reach out to me, you know, and you got the top of my DM, I usually respond. And if you can't get in contact with me that way, definitely reach out to my manager, which is Special. His page is Special ENT. And yeah, that's my dude. That's my label. That's my manager. So anytime you need anything with me, you can always get in contact with him as well. So yeah.
There you have it. The Sadiddy Trap Queen, Cali Cass. Now, before you jump in her DM, make sure you have large amounts. She lets you know like it's got to be right. Don't fuck around.
That's it. You know what? You know, I ain't even gonna respond unless you send me the downloaded picture that you got it in your inbox. Thank you. Man. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Pacific Fresh.
Oh man,
y'all gotta send me a screenshot.
We're gonna send you a hat though. We're gonna send you some hats and show that love.
Okay.
Make sure you got more dollars and followers. You're gonna fuck with Cali Cash, man. You know what time it is. G Money, Pacific Push. We out of here.